G'day legends, I hope you're all amazing. On today's video, we are checking out the new Airline V15 from Kazrog. They were kind enough to send me over a copy of this to try out, and I've put together a big, filthy classic rock jam for you all to hear. Now, this is modeled on an old Airline Valco bass amplifier that was a bit of a secret weapon for players like Jimmy Page in the studio. The controls are very straightforward. This whole plugin is pretty much idiot-proof, but I do like that it isn't just another 5150 Marshall or rectifier plugin out there. It's really, really great if you're going for big, scuzzy, fuzzed out sort of 70s metal tones, or you want lo-fi tones or blues tones, stuff that a lot of kind of amp modeling plugin manufacturers seem to ignore. They do definitely tend to focus on sort of tight high gain. So having the opportunity to check out something that isn't tight high gain is super fun. Here's a little jam that I put together. All the guitar and bass tracks are using this new plugin. Then we'll hear some tones in isolation and look at the features. Let's go. Enjoyed leaning into the filth right there. Let's hear some tones in isolation now, because this can do plenty of great lower gain tones as well. I'll do my best to go over all the features in the plugin as well. So when you boot it up and the preset is initialized, this is what you're faced with. Really, there's kind of only two important controls on the main amp section over here. It's the volume and the tone. So the real amplifier, as you turn the volume up, you're going to get more distortion, but you're also going to get more volume. This is actually gain compensated over here. So as you turn the volume up and you get more distortion out of it, it's not going to get wildly louder, which is very, very helpful when you're working in a plugin environment like this. Then you've got a tone control with quite a wide sweep over here. There is a pedal section up front. So you've got their G8 gate, which is also featured in their 1992 plugins, so their PV5150 plugin in there. Then you've got a tone bender style fuzz pedal on here, which is awesome fun. Then you've got a very, very comprehensive cab section over here with the ability to blend between the two different cabs over here. You've got a high pass and low pass filter. Then you can also adjust the low and high mids on here. So you can set the frequency and the gain. Then there is this dynamics control over here. You can set delay offsets on the cabs as well if you kind of want to play with the phase over there. And again, quite a large list of factory IRs based on the real speaker in there. Most common microphones represented, like the 57, 121 over here, 414, the M30, and different positions over there. So let's just hear this initialize. I'm playing a PRS DGT. I'm going to be on the bridge pickup to start off with, and let's just have a look at the range of the volume and tone controls. You can see you can also add a spring style reverb over here and manage the input and output gain from the plugin. I should have noted the cabs that I'm using over here. So it's a 414 cap over there, and I think there's a 57. Very, very nice. I can blend between the two of them if I want. Let's just hear the mix, and maybe we'll hear the 57 in isolation. So it's pretty straightforward. You just go, do I want more or less gain, or do I want more or less brightness? Gain comes from this control, brightness comes from this control. point here is character and vibe, and there's plenty of that going on. I kind of dig the spring style reverb on there. It definitely leans towards the darker side. It's not super drippy on there. I would probably run that maybe around 20 to 15% on most presets. You can hear the tone control as well. Once you get past about 1 o'clock, it kind of really brightens up and it takes that big thunk out of everything. This gets particularly fun though when you crank these controls and you add that tone bender style pedal in front. So let's go for some just absolute filth on here. You can hear there's a bit of hiss, but I can deal with that by using the gate. And let's turn this up. I need to engage the pedal section over here. So the gate's pretty immediate on there. And then I'm gonna kick in this tone bender. I'll start with the tone at noon, and I'm gonna bring the attack up on here. So this is just the amp, gate, cab, and a little bit of the spring style reverb. That's a vibe right there. I'm digging that, and I like the ability to turn the pedal on and off nice and quickly on there. You can also hear cranking up that reverb. It's just got that atmospheric 70s thing going on, which I definitely do not mind the taste of. In the cab section, if I was going for that super cranked up smooth lead sound on here, what I might do is actually use the low pass on here. Let's take that to around 8K. I'll add a bit of high pass in here. Having the option to do this in the plugin or leave everything wide open and do it in post is always a nice one on here. Let's go 100 Hertz on there. And I'll play around with this dynamics little control over here. Let's crank the blend all the way over to the 57. I've got the fuzz on, and we get this. I found myself really leaning into the character tones on here, so getting the most disgusting style fuzz, piling on that spring reverb on there, and kind of getting psychedelic with it. And I will put up a little jam with a Strat at the end of this video, but you can get some pretty convincing classic rock tones out of this as well. So I've loaded up my free Cab IR LTTV Mix 7, and I've just cranked up the tone, volumes at about 2 o'clock, no pedal on there, reverb off, and it does this pretty well. I'm going to pull up stumps right there if you would like to learn more about this plugin, and if you'd like to try it for yourself, I'll put a link in the video description. Thank you to Kazrog for sponsoring this video, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on the tones I pulled in this video. This is really straightforward if you're looking for nasty character tones or sweet cleans that aren't just a rehash of the same amps that every plugin company is modeling at the moment. It's definitely worth taking the time to check out. If you like what I'm doing here on the channel, check out some of my music or my Patreon. It's linked in the video description. Time to grab the Strat and get psychedelic now. Have a great time. I'll see you next time.